to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll call this regular board meeting to order. Roll call shows all are present except for Julie, who is excused. No agenda changes that I know of. We have consent agenda. We got the February 21st, 2019 regular board meeting minutes, the February 24th, 2019 committee of the whole meeting minutes, and presentation of accounts and other claims against the village.
I'll move to approve.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Peter.
Any questions?
Yeah. We gave a report on the senior activities committee meeting, and I didn't see that in the minutes, so I just wanted to, I don't know how we want to do that, if,
I will add those to the minutes and then,
okay, thanks, sure. If you want me to, we had a meeting that afternoon, so I was just kind of going from
yes.
my notes, so I could forward the minutes to you if that would help, or
Yeah.
what's best.
You could forward them to me, that would be
Okay.
fine.
Then we'd have to reapprove that for next meeting.
Yep.
And we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yeah, sure.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. We have no pre-registered citizens. There are no committee reports or unfinished business, so we'll move right into new business. DOR chargeback of unlawful taxes, 2016 Gulfside Court.
I'll take that. Just as a technical problem that was corrected, Bomar Appraisal assessed the resident at 526 Gulfside Court to the tune of $218,700 for their property tax bill for 2018, totaling $5,038.72. The owner of the time, he had sold the house, so upon selling it, he still had the rights to have to pay the property tax. He didn't take occupancy till February of this year, so he's claiming, what he claimed was a difference in what he wanted assessed from what it should have been assessed, claiming $69,400. He did the proper formwork to substantiate that, so he should have been assessed at $149,300. Doing the calculations, what you do is you take the assessed property tax bill, what he paid, you divide that out by 218.7, which is the number of per thousand, which gets you a $23.04 per thousand charge. And then you essentially do the math backwards on it. Long story short, we need to offer or issue a $1,598.97 refund. So anything that is being refunded has to go in front of the village board for approval. So it's a technicality, it's caught. I believe, Jane, there was one other one from Bomar.
No, he took care of that.
He took care of it, okay. So as for our, any assessments last year, this should be the only correction. So essentially, writing this check from the village funds, we would have to have your permission to do so.
Did this come out of the review?
No, this
With
was,
Omar, you know, is it?
Yeah, it was Walmart. No,
Did he bring this up himself?
Bomar caught it. It was kind of
Oh,
a, it
Bomar
was kind of a joint between the two.
right.
I think
Walmart.
Joe Bomar caught it, and he caught it in the field before, but it was too late.
Hmm.
And once it goes to the county, and once the tax bill is prepared, you have to pay the tax bill. So it becomes a technicality where you have to pay it and then refund it.
Is this principal only, or does he have interest added on?
I believe it's just gonna be principal.
Is that typical?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't get any interest because of the,
Correct?
but it's not his fault.
Right.
Essentially, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need a motion to approve paying that back?
Yes, $1,598.97.
So moved.
Go ahead, Peter. I'll second.
526 Gulfside Court is the physical address.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Farmers Market Discussion 2019.
I had asked that that be put on the agenda, and Cassandra, Cassandra Stelmacher is at the same band concert, so she wasn't able to come tonight, but she and her husband had the farmer's market in front of Donaldson's last year. And they are looking to make it bigger, and would like any support they can get from the village in, any publicity or whatever. I'll just read to you what she emailed to me. She said, "I have a goal of making the farmer's market a community event each Saturday. Here are a few things that could really help. Listed on the website, location, times, vendors, etc. Also a vendors needed listing, having a Hortonville news table with local upcoming events, a direct contact person for local ordinances, licenses for vendors, etc." And she put in a plug. She said an ideal location would be the little corner lot across from the new park area, the little park area on Nash Street, right at the traffic light. She's talking about the All World Ford. Is that Tom's, right, property? And she said this would be more visible, convenient for walkers and drivers, and plenty of space. She said, I'm planning to have more fun things happening at the market too, like food trucks, music, artists, etc. I'd love all the support and promotion I can get. So what I told her, since she couldn't be here for the public comment tonight, I said I would just read her email, to all of you, and then get back to her. I don't know that she's looking for help, but whatever we can do to assist in promoting, and then if there's any way that we could assist her in having the location on Main Street so it's more visible.
Go ahead.
Can I add comment to that? It used to be at Alonzo. At Alonzo,
Right.
you have restrooms, you have a pavilion, you have power. We just wired that whole thing for extra power, so there's plenty of power. Still on Main, you have parking.
Yeah. I know
We only moved it to Donaldson's because there was interest in getting on Nash Street, and we would stay open. But we don't anymore. Normally on Saturdays and summertime, we're gone.
Right, right.
And they're welcome to continue using it, because the bathrooms they use, they go over to Bricks Hardware. But, they walk in, they use the bathrooms, and Bricks isn't too keen with that.
Yeah.
If you put it on Tom Oak's corner, there's no power, there's no public bathrooms, there's no cover, and I'm afraid you might end up with problems with them trying to go across the street to the bowling alley.
Accessibility,
Yeah,
parking,
parking, big
load
issue.
in, load out.
We
Yep.
can't give permission for that, she would have to go to them.
Right.
Yeah.
I did tell her it was private property. I know with Alonzo, the issue is getting in and out. It's really hard.
Right, and I know Tom well enough that one of the first things he'll bring up is liability insurance.
Right.
That's what he's gonna say.
Yeah.
That's the way he operates. And I don't blame him. It's a
Yeah.
business.
A legitimate
Yep,
issue.
yep.
Pat, is this lady a manager? Is she actually the organizer, coordinator of the farmer's market?
They have a CSA themselves, a community supported agriculture, a farm. And her husband is a teacher, and I'm not sure if she works outside the home other than the farm. But, yeah, so she would like to be, she's got a lot of energy, very interested in making it a good thing for Hortonville. So I think it would be whatever we can do, if there's
Well,
any ideas.
What we did for the last one, I think, didn't we just let them use it, or did we charge them? Do we charge them for the use of Alonzo? I know that we actually I think we actually collected the money at
There
one
was a
point.
charge.
We did,
There was a charge.
but I'd suggest we don't do that.
I know, I would
Whoever's
suggest-
running it, managing it, let them collect the money like we used to, and we used it for advertising.
Yeah.
We would spend the money on advertising.
That was my next question. Do they charge a fee for these vendors?
I don't know if they did last year,
Okay.
but I know at Alonzo,
They did.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't charge fees for them. They come in. Again, I'll go back to what I said before. There was a season, I think Jane charged a seasonal $30 or something. and they could come in whenever they wanted to, whatever weekend they wanted to during a certain period of time. She took that money and used it for advertising. Now, this person can do the same thing. I'm gonna go back to your question. I think there was a nominal fee, I could be wrong. You might have to go back, Jane, and look. It was cheap, it was inexpensive, it was like
Yeah.
$25 just to cover,
If you paid for the whole season, you got a discount, but
Yeah.
otherwise, I think it was charged so much weekly, I
It-
can't remember what it
yeah.
was.
It was
Well-
10 or something like that.
Yeah, it
I
was,
mean, they
And
gotta
it was
expect-
per-
They gotta expect that.
yeah.
it was per event too, was it, or was it seasonal?
You could pay by the season,
Okay.
or, and you got a rate, then a cheaper rate,
Got it.
or I think it was $10 a week.
Gotta remember, we have to cover our costs on the power and the manpower to clean the restrooms and stuff, so, and pick up trash. So, they're not a nonprofit, so I would suggest that we look back and see what we charged them and make it reasonable.
I would suggest you forward that information to me, and I will coordinate with her, and I'll reach out and see what we can do.
And
Put
I
our heads
don't,
together.
yeah, I don't know if she, okay, I can do that. And maybe look at other options for locations too, because Alonzo is so hard to get in and out of.
Unfortunately, everywhere on Main Street's hard though.
What about
You know,
Miller Park? Would that be?
Same
I
thing.
would think that would be harder to
But
get
it's
in and out.
that, but the way it's set up, that was what's so hard with Alonzo. You go in, there's the stoplight, it's confusing, you know, when you go in and try to get back out on 15. You remember what it's crazy.
It is hard.
Yeah,
You know, you get the stoplight there, so they all,
right.
you got 15 cars waiting to go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But on a Saturday, it would be different. I mean, that was what they always did on Wednesday nights.
Mhm.
Saturday in the summertime, nobody's here. They're all up north, that's why we close.
Yeah.
We'd sit there on Saturdays
Totally
with
different.
hardly any traffic.
Yeah.
So Miller might be a good option. You could try it
I mean,
for a year.
and this is just me personally talking, I wouldn't have a problem. I mean, if she wants to get this thing going, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with even deferring payment until, you know, let her try it. And if it's 3 vendors or something, it just completely fails.
The only thing that was nice about Alonzo is, like Peter said, there's a shelter over
Oh,
there.
absolutely, no.
You know, and a lot of them got underneath that,
Alonzo
Yeah.
was the place.
where
that, you
it
know,
was a little misty or
If it
real
rained or
hot
whatever, yep.
or anything. Now, if you're going to Miller, there's
Nothing.
really nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the farmers markets, they bring their own tents though. The pop-up tents,
Well,
you know, obviously a shelter's more convenient.
Mhm.
There's some older ones that don't have it though,
Mm-hmm.
that don't have a pop-up.
Oh, right. But,
Like I said, Pat, if you wanna forward that information to me, I will
Okay.
reach out to her
okay.
and see what we can do to
And then I'm
coordinate.
assuming we could support it on our Facebook page and
Absolutely.
website and do what we
Absolutely.
can.
yeah, I think we did that last time.
Jane can help you too on the charges, what they
Okay.
charged, what we charged for those last 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
So when you guys come over next week.
Yep.
You can have a discussion with her.
When does Greenville do theirs?
Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
Wednesdays.
They are actually moving, because the property that, I was at the Sustainability Council meeting today. The property that they had their farmer's market on is gonna be their fire department, their new building. So they're actually looking for a home as we speak as well. So they're potentially using a church parking lot to, on Highway 76. So it should be a close location, but they're without a home as we speak.
Yeah, the only thing I would see, if they hold it on a Saturday, I mean, you got downtown Appleton is all Saturday morning.
Correct.
Mhm. Huge competition, huge competition with the
Yes.
farmer's market in
Yeah.
Appleton.
Yeah.
But there, you know what, I've heard a lot of people don't like to go to it because it is so big now, too. So from this end, we, you know,
Well, but you have a
Yeah,
numerous
well,
option.
that might be to go with what Kelly's suggestion. Give them a year to try it out and see how
Mhm.
the competition affects there. That
mhm,
Mhm.
okay. Thank you. I'll get back to her with all this.
Any other discussion on the farmer's market? Hearing none, we'll do, next one is update of snowmobile routes and trail ordinance 7.09.
in your packet. So this started sometime in the fall, last year with Bob Buckman. So myself and Chris met several times with Bob to try and update hoping for snow in the year, try to update the routes in the village. Bob is, from what I've heard, he's fallen ill. So the gentleman that actually finished this process, I don't know his name. Chris would be able to tell you, but obviously he's not here. So anyway, what you have in front of you is what that gentleman and Chris did. They put their heads together and went around in the squad car. So what you see is the village listing are now the actual legal descriptions of what's allowed within village limits. The biggest marker is what you'd see by off the Wheel Watch Trail. So it is a trail end, and that was where they had the issues with the past when they had the person with the home invasion. So there is no south access to the lake. That was the biggest issue that the club had. But we gave them options. They didn't want to take the options to run the road because we suggested that he would have to get permissions from all of the homeowners on the lake drive to get up to the boat landing, and he didn't want to do it. So that was the only way I would agree to it. Otherwise, you're just putting you're angering other residents as well, and you're beating up a road. So they opted not to do that, so it's marked trail end. They have pulled over a few sleds, the police have this year. At my discussion with Chief, we're not fining them, the village is not issuing citations. They have this ordinance and these maps of the squads, and they're basically offering them education on where they should be using their sleds properly. And essentially, this is the first year in many that you've been able to do it in the village, so it just needed to be updated. And what you see here is, last time it was updated was '04, so this is current and correct. And I apologize for the map, because that was taken off of, it was already laminated once we shot that photocopy, so it's kind of hard to read, but.
So what are you looking for, David?
Just a motion to approve, nothing has to be, as an ordinance, we just have to approve the new snowmobile routes as recorded on 7.09.
I'll make a motion to approve the routes as recorded on 7.09.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Any other miscellaneous topics for future discussion?
Yeah, without any discussion, I think my three projects at the Department of Veterans Affairs ended last Friday, so I'm on leave. So until something else comes up, I've been lax in calling a public safety committee meeting to discuss a few issues that we talked about. One is chickens. The other one, I think Carl was talking about speed bumps out here too, so, excuse me. Public Safety Committee meeting, or committee, I think is Chris, myself, Julie, I think is on there.
And
You're on. Julie's not?
I don't know,
I think she
Julie,
was,
I think Julie's on there too.
I think so.
maybe,
So what works good for you?
name a day.
Okay, I'll pick a date and a time and I'll send it out. Are you on there?
I don't think so,
No.
No?
but I don't know.
I don't have it here with me.
You could tell me I was, and I just not in my head.
The time I didn't bring my folder. And
You, public safety, Peter, Jeannie, Kelly, Julie.
And there you go.
Kelly, you're stuck.
So guess what? You still got time.
Okay, I can reach out to Julie, but what works good for you, Kelly? This time or earlier?
Sure.
Not earlier?
A little earlier if you wanted to do a little earlier.
I mean, you want to do it, can you make a 5? 5:30?
5:30. It would be, could we do it at the same time we do our regular board meeting, like, like a?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I could make that happen.
Okay, so the next board meeting is what date?
21st.
March 21. And there's
Unless
nothing.
we,
And nothing on there?
Are we doing the once a month thing yet, or is that not gonna happen, or what?
That was only, we never approved it, we said we would cancel if we needed to cancel a meeting. We
Okay.
kept it the same,
Okay.
so as of right now, there is an agenda, correct? Started for the 21st?
Okay.
All right, so,
Minimal again, but there's nothing before, there's no committee of the whole or nothing
Okay.
before it, so you could do a 5:30 on the 21st.
all right,
Do you
so it's
have
up
hours
to
enough?
your discretion to do a cancellation if there's nothing there.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
So 5:21, excuse me, 3:21 at 5:30 here?
Sure.
Okay, good, thank you.
What was the third on there? 5 chickens, speed bumps, and was there a third one? you
Yeah,
said?
there was, but I don't have it here.
Okay.
I'll copy you,
Okay, that's fine.
and I'll copy Al too. Okay?
Any other topics for future discussion? Hearing none, it's on here for 6-month review for administrator on March 21st.
Just a suggestion, Al, I didn't know how the village board wanted to handle it, if it wanted to be just the president's review, or if you wanted me to be put in front of all of you in a closed session. So I put it on there as for a topic of discussion. I don't know how it was handled in the past. So if it's the village board president doing my 6-month review, or if you guys wanna all have a swing at me in closed session.
In the past, the president did review and then presented it to a board in closed session for discussion.
That's fine.
We could go,
We'll just have a closed session after the 21st.
yeah, get it all done at once.
Yeah.
So you want to do the review with him prior to,
I'll do it prior to.
and then we have a discussion on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I agree.
Okay, that's what we'll do, and have a closed session on the 21st. We have report of village officials, administrator.
The handout I handed to you all prior to the meeting start here. First things, as we reported last village board meeting, the manuals have been dispersed to all full-time employees, and a copy of the personnel manuals were also delivered to each department, so any part-time employees would have a tool of reference if they needed. The changes were made as suggested in the last board meeting as well. We have met with two organizations, Strong Bodies, which is a women's group that is interested in using the Opera House at the same time as the ADRC meal site. So we are working with them. I'm having another meeting with them next week. We're starting to see other entities that are showing interest in the facility. The other one being Inner and Outer Strength. He currently has solicited to external people to see what the interest is in the level of conducting fitness and strength training classes. So more to come on that. However, that would be a rental. That would not be for a group of people. It would be for a rental facility. We are currently in
David, can I ask you one question?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the Strong Bodies, is that the ADRC themselves, the name of the class?
Yes.
Conducted by ADRC?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
Yes.
thought. Okay.
They're currently at, I believe,
St. Peter and Paul. Mhm.
They're looking to come back to the facility.
Okay.
Aflac we are currently in the open.
Going back to the Strong Bodies for a
Yes, sir.
second. Before, they always held it so those people could not attend the meal site. Are they going to move it ahead, so if the people wanted to do the meal site, they could also do that?
We actually toured the lower room of the basement of the Opera House, and we're gonna, talking with the meal site, we're gonna accommodate both groups in the same lower level at the same time.
But before, the Strong Bones didn't get done early enough to be able to attend the meal site.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's why they're
yeah,
going to slide it ahead, so
Yep, yes.
if they
correct.
want to attend the meal site, they can also do that.
Yes, yeah, that's the whole intention now, is to get as much traffic to the ADRC meal site as possible. We are currently in our open enrollment session, so all employees have been notified. We have a meeting tomorrow with Aflac, just a supplemental insurance carrier. Happy to relay that Kerber Rose completed their audit of the village yesterday. Jane, I'll let you comment on this if you want. I mean, I don't think we had many issues at all. It seemed to go off very well. The note to us was, we can tell there's a new clerk, we can tell there's a new administrator, and we can tell that you've had a new software package and things are getting better. So, few if any hiccups in the last 3 days that I would say. Everything went well. So kudos to Jane, and Lisa and Libby as well, and Nathan, very well prepared for the auditing procedure. Paul Hanlon is now on site from 3 to 5 on Wednesdays. I'm sure you've all seen or have read already. We had a very good month, selling 5 permits for new home construction in the month of February. And I think we can only expect bigger and better things as we continually push for new development in the village. But he will be available, and there's been some call for him to be on site. So he's made himself available for a limited term by appointment on Wednesdays from 3 to 5. He also informed me that he is 100% sure that he will be retiring from the village of New London, or the city of New London. So he would be able to expedite and give more hours to the village if he sees fit by midsummer. We have started revisions on the safety manual for the village. That is also very outdated. Carl and I have also started to do updates and revisions to the strategic plan. I think we're going to have to address whether or not we want to put a commission together again for that, to look at the updating for that procedure. Carl and I are doing the initial dig into it. Our last update was 2013. External meetings for myself, again, economic development professionals in Kaukauna. I was able to meet with Gary Tauschen and Dean Steingraber, Outagamie County Highway Department, in regards to the Highway 15 bypass. And then I also was at a Sustainability Community Network meeting today in Neenah. I didn't mention it on here, but I do want to mention it, and I can pass it along via email. March 18th is a Monday. I've also solicited and they have agreed, Al is aware of it. There's a meeting with myself, Greenville, Hortonia, New London, Al is the village president, Carl with Dean, Representative Steinecke, who's the major voice in the Wisconsin government system. Seems to be more of the influential person when it comes to the Highway 15 bypass. So we're really making a strong push. I've kind of taken the lead, working a little bit with Joel from Greenville, with Kent stepping out in New London. We want to have a kind of a unified voice moving forward and letting these people know that this is really impacting the village and that we need to have this process happen. So we're going to meet with him, so an update. I can forward that information if anybody else wants to attend. You just have to let me know. I believe it's a 1:30 on a Monday afternoon. And then if you flip over, a little project that I've been working on, and this goes hand in hand with the ADRC program. So as you can see by the logo, I've taken some time and I've put a little love into developing what I'm going to call as a goal of mine for 2019 is to develop this 501c3 not-for-profit. Helping Hands of Hortonville. It's a volunteer-based organization that what I'm hoping will eventually lead to is a group of people that will help other groups of people within Hortonville. So as you can see by the first description, we're going to rely heavily on volunteers. That's something that's limited right now in the village, and I'm hoping that using the Public Education Expo, the upcoming Village Voice, the general election, the rummage sale, and just getting out and about, that I can try to put together a list of people that potentially may want to volunteer. While I'm doing that, I've been organizing it, so I'm working on the actual, I've applied already for the employee identification number. The actual filing of the not-for-profit is it's a long, drawn-out process, so that's started. It also has some costs associated, so I've also reached out to Capital Credit Union for their Elevate Community and then AARP community grants, because I don't want to use village funds. I'm hoping to get these all donated to get this off the ground, and I've made myself the direct inquiry point, moving forward. Again, this is anything that we can do to get not-for-profit volunteer or grant dollars to the village, I think this is gonna help. And I guess the way I've always looked at it is people tend to give to a not-for-profit before they give to government. So this is a better avenue for that type of donation, so.
What's your mission statement? Do you have one?
I'm working on it,
Okay.
but it's gonna tie very closely to what you read on the first paragraph there.
Okay, so, kind of for your information, the Hortonville Civic Association is a nonprofit 501c3. We created that to do fundraising to improve the quality and the amenities of the park. We're doing a membership rollout probably in the next month. There's a mailing that's gonna go out to all the residents to look for memberships,
Okay,
okay? I see this, that's why I'm interested in your mission statement, because I don't want you or your nonprofit competing with
Correct.
our nonprofit for that dollar.
correct.
That's gonna be hard to do.
I'm not, honestly, Peter, I'm not looking for dollars. I'm looking for volunteers.
Okay,
Because what I have spearheaded is essentially to aid the people of the ADRC,
yeah.
and it's not gonna take dollars. The dollars are there. It's gonna take the manpower and the volunteerism that's gonna drive it.
You know, your best option, I think, would be to go after grants. We're going after membership. Now, when you take a 501c3 and you add in the membership, you have a whole different reporting process to the feds and to the state. So that becomes a convoluted issue. So when you develop this, if you don't mind, I'd like to just sit down with you
Absolutely.
so that we don't cross paths, that we're not competing, because that would be hard to do.
Absolutely.
Okay. I really appreciate it.
That kind of came up at the senior activities meeting too. I mentioned it with David, just that the communication stays open, like with the ADRC
Absolutely.
and make the ride happen so that we aren't competing for the same dollars that are all gonna benefit
Yeah.
Hortonville. I think the communication lines just have to stay open so we don't alienate other agencies and that kind of thing.
You know, there are grants that are out there that are specific to projects within a community. One, or two of them I can tell you. One is the Pecker Foundation, which comes up this year, which I will apply for. It has to do with bricks and mortar,
Yep, absolutely.
okay? Then there's the Shopko Foundation. Well, Shopko's in bankruptcy, so I don't know if I'm gonna go after that, because I probably wouldn't have any luck. And I've been in touch with them last year, and she said, well, come back in 19. Yeah, well, maybe she,
Right, Anna?
Probably got a nice some storefront that can sell their pretty shelter.
yeah, right. So, in that respect, you and I can go, work together, I can go, I can say, okay, I wanna go after this grant. Because it deals with community events and stuff like that, and if I surface something that might be a grant that would be conducive to what you're doing, type of outreach stuff,
Right, absolutely.
okay, fair enough. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. That's all I have.
Any other comments or questions for David?
Just one real quick one, David. Updating the strategic plan.
Yes.
Don't know when it's gonna happen, but if you're looking for, community involvement, I would probably be willing to jump into that. I was a part of that
Okay.
strategic plan when we did it,
And he's a good candidate because he's retiring this year.
so I would be a,
Okay.
That's nice of you.
What
to do that.
we're currently doing is we're reading through it, looking for updates
Yep.
and any process or anything that's been completed out of it.
well, and again, what we did back in 13 was we pulled a lot of the community in and had meetings and I don't wanna call it a focus group, but it was kinda sorta, break into well, you were there, Don, we did all, I mean, it was, all I'm saying is, if you're looking for help, from the outside in the community.
Thank you.
I would be more than happy,
Thank you.
as long as I've got the time.
But you know, that train stopped at the station and never started up again because there were some downtown groups that started up, really didn't,
Absolutely.
so it's time to get things going.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
And I think his approach is really good,
yeah.
and, we'll continue on our path.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard me ask Carl for years.
Yeah.
How we doing on the strategic plan? Are we, we aren't really talking about it anymore. We put a lot of effort into it. And it'd sure be nice to not have that effort go to waste. Anyway, that's,
Yeah, no, and it's a very detailed report, so, I mean, I can tell by reading it, and I'm not a, not a native of here, you can tell what's been accomplished or not, so.
Any other questions or comments for Dave? Hearing none, we'll move on to clerk treasurer.
The ballots should be here any day for the spring election. And absentee voting will take place March 18th through the March 29th. Semify, our new cemetery software program, is on our website. You can search by name. I don't know if you want to say anything more on that, but Nathan was instrumental in.
Pretty much right now, all that, you'll be able to search by name, last name, or if you know what the range and section and grave number is. And then it should show you a GPS location of where it is. Still in the process of updating some of the names of the older graves from the 1800s and early 1900s. But other than that, they're working on an update to have a actual like GPS on our webpage so that you could just search through all of them rather than just looking up the name. So they're working on it now, which should take a few months, I'm guessing. So.
And that's all I have.
Any questions or comments for Jane?
Are we staffed, Jane, for the election?
We are staffed for the
Okay,
election.
good.
Did Carl have anything that he gave to you?
Nothing from Carl, nothing from Chris also.
Then we'll move down to the library director.
Not a whole lot. We're still prepping for our extravaganza that we're coordinating with the police department, which is on March 30th. It's a Saturday. We're anticipating a pretty awesome turnout, so we're really looking forward to that. Continuing to plan for our summer programs with the details and the prizes and the programs. We're really hoping to beat last year's registration of 983. So ideally, we'll have a good turnout again this year if we keep the enthusiasm and really get interesting programming and prizes and stuff. So it should be good. That's all I have.
Any questions or comments for Ally? Hearing none, Bob's not here. Building permit report is in the packet. It really looks good to have 5 new homes. Any comments or questions on this?
Where's Esther Lane?
Esther Lane is in the new subdivision, that would be Jim Clegg's.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So that is, Boardwalk Builders actually bought 10 lots out there. So he will be putting up, and from from him, the discussions I had with that gentleman, he is doing 3 at a time.
wow.
And he wants to develop all 10 of them this year. The subdivision is, we're getting very close to opening up phase 2 of that subdivision. So that would increase another 40 lots for sale.
Wow.
And then I also talked to Richard Kinnison today, and we're meeting on Monday to look at the options for reopening West Wind, which is Horton Hills, Greenbrier, Jaquat,
It's J. Cole.
Jayco,
Close enough.
Cordy Lane.
It's like Jake.
So evidently that they've gone back to the drawing board, so potentially another 17 to 19 lots available early spring for that as well, with the roadway and thoroughfares being built out. So they want to re-engage that subdivision and complete it, so.
Hey, what's going on with the part 3 of the TIF down here? Did that ever materialize into anything? The residential development?
No, and actually I do have a person, I don't know if I should tell you, but there's interest in the 2 lots. We did meet with the Haywish family. Are you talking east of Century?
Yeah.
Okay, so those 2 lots are available.
Okay.
We met with the Haywish family, who owns the lot adjacent to the 2 lots available.
Right.
At one time, there was talk of a townhouse development in there.
Right.
We currently have a person who's interested in doing a commercial property in there.
Oh, okay.
So being a better fit for that area, but the person who has also stepped out of the townhouse developments is potentially gonna be developing his 55-acre parcel for a high-end subdivision. He's working with another gentleman on that
Oh,
right now,
okay.
so. We are gonna have a plethora of opportunities here for building lots. I'm gonna say north of 100 lots here
Wow,
come this summer that will be available for sale, so.
that's great.
Raise that tax levy.
That's what we need.
Yep, we need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything we can do to promote it.
Well, we've been trying.
I know. And we're succeeding.
Yes, we are.
Don't we need to have so much residential in that too, though? Over there, didn't we have to have a certain,
I think we already are at that caveat. I think we qualify already. And then the 17 acres adjacent to Grandview is also mapped residential yet. So right on the corner where the Grandview, so that acreage is still available, and the way they had that potentially plotted, that acreage is qualifier yet too, so
okay.
I think we're sitting fine. It's just a lot of everything's dependent on Highway 15. You know, people aren't gonna pull the trigger until they know yes one way or the other.
Anything else on the building permit report? Hearing none, we'll move on to communications and miscellaneous business. Black Otter Lake District news. We got a purchaser for our old harvester today. He gave us a down payment and expects to have final payment and receive it sometime the first week of April.
The one that leaks all the hydraulic fluid?
He's already been told about the hoses and stuff, so, and he was there today to look at it and gave us a check today for the down payment, so.
Can I ask what you sold it for?
With some of the work that needs to be done so he can pull it over to Lake Onalaska, his final payment will be just over $16,000.
Wow.
Total.
Better than scrap rate.
What'd we pay for it? Or what'd you pay for it?
I think it was right around 40, but I'd have to look,
And how many years did you have it?
like about 6.
And now, if you're gonna get another one?
We've already purchased one and
We had a grant.
we're working on the grant on that.
No, I was just gonna say, if this one doesn't leak hydraulic fluid, my wife
Oh.
might be interested in driving it again.
We have a brand new one coming in May.
Okay.
And
Our neighbor took a bath in it. Dave Jeffers was on it when it flew, and it was just covered with
yeah,
hydraulic
he took quite a shower with that
fluid.
one.
He took a bath. This was like, oh, Val doesn't call me, I'm not getting out of
And-
that thing.
And if this guy would have turned it down today, Chris had already got a call from another person that was interested in it.
Oh, I suppose those things there are expensive. You can get a decent one that works for a little bit. Anyway, sorry.
That's all we have for Black Otter. Martinville Hortonia Fire District.
Nothing.
Gold Cross Ambulance run report is in the packet. The only question I had on it, there was one on there that was on Cross Road. I didn't quite understand why one from outside of town was on there. I also noticed that they were quicker on their non-emergencies than their emergency. For the average.
Was it the problem, because there was a stabbing or a gunshot?
Yeah, it's the one on Cross Road, yeah.
I'm just wondering if they interject faster because of a potential.
But I just understand why that one was out of town and is on our report.
Not sure.
This is easy, no, this is easier for you to look at.
There's probably a way to do that, but I don't know how.
There's a little rotate button in there.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anything else on the Gold Cross ambulance run report? Hearing none, Civic Association,
Moving along.
senior activities?
We meet on the 28th of this month.
And we did dig up the results from that. The senior,
Senior activity survey.
we found the results, so I'll bring that
Okay.
up at the meeting.
I'm tight. I believe 1 o'clock. Here, let me check, I'll check quickly here on the minutes. 1 o'clock at the Opera House, Thursday the 28th at the Opera House.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not.
I think
I think
it was
it's- I think
supposed to
we
be
planned it
here.
I caused trouble last month with this
I'm pretty
issue.
sure we decided.
I
to have
think
it
we
here.
did too. Why did I write Opera House?
Cause I joked with you right when you said it.
Thanks,
So
Nathan.
probably
Just
screwed
really
up. I'm
appreciate
sorry.
your help with all this. I'll change that on the minutes before I send it to you.
Anything else for senior activities?
Oh, we'll make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, unless one you have,
I would just,
Oh,
library board met, did you want to say anything, because I was not there, or any, okay, you good?
We met on Tuesday. We had owls come in.
did you miss something?
Okay, because I wasn't able to be there.
Okay, you got the motion to
I
adjourn, we
did.
need a second?
I did.
Okay, all in favor,
Thank you,
say aye.
Welcome.
Bye.
Opposed, we are adjourned. Peter,